Allegations have come against 17 women have placed allegations. There are so many young girls in that list. I don't want the voices of young talents and the dreams of young talents to be crushed. I have nothing to gain or lose. But then what about all these young girls, who are struggling so much? Aspiring talents are going through this. It's not fair. I was too young. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know to read the pattern of what was coming at me. But once I realized it, I decided to step back. It was my choice. I wanted to step back, so I stepped back and said, okay, fine, I'm not pursuing playback. I'm happy singing on stage. I'm happy with stage singing. And even now, though a part of my dreams have been crushed, I'm very proud that I took a stance like that. But when I see these young girls, because almost 17 allegations have come against, 17 women have placed allegations. There are so many young girls in that list, and I don't want their voices to be stifled. Only 4 have had the courage to show their faces and say their names. It's that difficult to come out with the harassment allegation, even in 2023. So you can imagine how it would have been for me in 98. We had no social media, no mobile phone, nothing. So it was a quiet thing that happened, and we moved away, that's all. But I don't want the voices of young talents and the dreams of young talents to be crushed. And if I can be a voice for them, I would like to be a voice for them. And that is my only purpose of sharing my story, was only that. Because even in 2023, you're not able to show evidence. What could I have gathered in 98? When there was a landline phone with not even a caller ID, what would you have, expected? So, but somewhere I want to make a difference as a woman. I have a son. What if I'd had a daughter? Wouldn't I stick up for her? So that's what I want to do. That is the only reason why I shared the story. Because personally, I'm not gaining anything from it. I'm not losing anything from it, because I'm not in the industry. I'm not in the film industry. So there is nothing for me. But I don't want this to happen continuously, especially to girls with dreams. God, that girl's courage is something amazing. I don't think I would have that much courage, because I come from a family, very conservative family, so it's very difficult. She's got a lot of family support, but even with the family support, it's very difficult to do what she is doing, because she's constantly being abused in social media, trolled, and it's very tough to go through that constantly. But what happened to her was pretty sad, because she has been banned. And there was no dialogue before the ban came. The union should have pulled her up and asked why she made such an allegation. And then if they were not convinced with her, then they could have at least done something. But without having any dialogue with her, the union has an internal meeting and they ban her, and that's not fair. So it's very difficult for her. That is why I wanted to speak out, because I have nothing to gain or lose. But then what about all these young girls, who are struggling so much to be heard? And if you don't put an end to this, if you don't bring some kind of an accountability into anything, in any industry, not just in film industry, in any industry, if you're not going to bring any accountability, this is going to continue. And God knows how many are going to be silenced, men and women.
She said that it's just 17 who just came out with voices silent.
Obviously, even out of that 17, only 4 names you can say. The others are anonymous. No faces, no names, XYZ. So how many people would have been there behind that, and so many. I have also, after I came out with my story, a few people did reach out to me who did not want to be known. They were scared. They were not comfortable with letting the world know what happened to them. It's pretty sad. That's why I keep saying there has to be some kind of an accountability, and because it cannot continue, right? It means it's after me. These girls are now suffering. So it means generation after generation, aspiring talents are going through this. It's not fair. I wouldn't ask them to come and fight. I'll tell you why. Because you're not going to get any closure. The system doesn't give you closure. Now, I think I'm old enough to understand and admit that to myself. Because earlier, probably when I was younger, I would have thought, maybe, I can fight and I'll get a closure. We'll get into some kind of a dialogue, some kind of an investigation. Now I know it's not going to happen. So I don't want them to lose their, peace of mind if they're not comfortable. If they are comfortable and they can come out with it, I can help them and support them in whatever way I can. I will do that. But I will not trigger, because what happens is, more than the backlash from the person involved, you get backlash from the society. That's very hard to face, especially the social media comments. Definitely not easy to go through that. It definitely not easy. And you're always going to be worried about, what if my mom sees the comment? What if my brother sees the comment? What if my sister sees the comment? And you're going to worry about all that. And then there are people in the family who will come and ask my sister and brother and my mother, what happened to your daughter? See how many people are talking about her like this. So it's not easy for girls to come out with voices like me, voices like more powerful like Chinmay. We'll have to be, talking on behalf of them. We have to do it continuously. We will be doing it. See, 2018 it happened. 2 years he was a little silent. A lot of things were taken away from him in the 2 years. And then slowly he started coming out. I'm glad she brought this up again. We're talking, because things get diluted, because there are so many things today, around us, things get diluted. I'm really happy that she came out with it. So 5 years later, we are still talking about it. Still no closure. I'll tell you, 5 years later, we will talk about it. Still, we wouldn't have had any closure. I'm very clear about that. Very sad. It's almost like a defeatist attitude that it's not going to happen, but that's the reality. If I'm going to be sitting here and expecting something to change and it's not going to change, it's going to kill me. So somewhere I have to let myself, no, at least let's not make the next generation go through this, is what I can say. I want the film industry to speak up. I think you forget politics here. I don't want... See, a woman's honor can never be associated with religion, caste, or politics. Honor is honor. It's independent, right? So when you're talking about it, every industry, like you have a Vishaka Commission, when you're working in your workplace, you have. Similarly, the film industry, you have so many unions: dubbing union, musicians union, actors union, producers, so many unions. People who are sitting in authority probably can take some steps, form a committee, inquiry committee, have a third person, have an outsider in the committee, so that there won't be any prejudice or fear, both. So if you have that, then there must be some kind of accountability that can be brought out later. But the unions must take note of this. That's what I feel. That has to happen. Like how so many people keep talking about insurance in the film industry. So many people talk about it. So similarly, I also say that some kind of an accountability. A woman must be working in a safe space. Woman or man, I'm not restricting harassment to women alone. Even boys and men go through that. But safety in the workplace, whatever gender you are, it's very important, to have a healthy. So people sitting in authority should take this seriously, because 17 women have spoken about it. It's not a joke. If you say one person, maybe you can say it's a personal rivalry. But 17? And we don't even know each other. That's how it is. In fact, we also came to know each other only after Chinmay spoke about it. We didn't know. And the others, I don't even know their names. I only know them as X, Y, and Z. So it's very tough. So I think the industry should take a step forward. Today we are in 2023. A lot of things have changed. Actually, movies have become very healthy. Everything is healthier, the creativity is in a different dimension today. While we can be proud of all that, we should also be proud of having a safe space to work. Because this is creative work, and you definitely need a safe space to bring out your creativity. I wish somebody would look into it. They have to be held accountable. I'm saying at least have a dialogue. At least, minimum. You don't want to put those two together. At least talk to the one who's alleging it. And then talk to the alleged abuser. Don't even say he abused. Till it is proven he's only alleged harasser. Talk to both of them. Find out. I think you will be intelligent enough to gather if you're heading a union. You'll definitely know what could have transpired. At least a warning. At least something like that. See, actually, in some ways it has worked, because when Mr. Vairamuthu was nominated for the ONV Award of Kerala, it was not conferred on him. It was taken back, because the Kerala film industry, the women actresses, they stood by us. They said he should not be given that award. He doesn't deserve it, because 17 women's voices have not been heard. There is no closure to that. So that was courageous of them to do that, and they had nothing to do with what happened with Mr. Vairamuthu, but they stood by us. So that way, you know, I'm very thankful to them. I'll always be grateful to the Kerala film industry for that. So that happened. Central government, some minister was supposed to come and give him a lifetime achievement award. That was stopped, right? He did not get the much coveted films in the recent releases. He did not get where he expected to get. So those things, I didn't want to name it. So those things give us a little bit of hope. It gives us a little bit of hope. But the pain is there, you know, the pain is always there. And to see, I'm past all that now. I've understood everything. But what about the young girls who are going through that? That shouldn't happen. Nobody deserves this. Nobody deserves it. At least hear them out. At least let the voice be heard. You decide who's right and who's wrong. I leave that to you.
What will be next course of action? When Chinmay makes, when I see all these affected women, if she calls you or
I'll be there. Wherever this has to be spoken about, I will be there. This is what I said in 2018. I'm still maintaining. I have no issues being there. I'm also trying to convince a lot of people around me who are worried for me, who are concerned about it. Enough. You said you did this in 2018. Enough. Stop it. But I don't want to stop it because I feel I always think, what if I had a daughter? That thought that keeps coming into my head, you know. I have a son, so I can afford to relax today. What if I've had a daughter and she had to go through this? Wouldn't I stand up for her? So I'll keep doing this. Wherever required, I'll be there for the voice. I will definitely be there. But personally, I know I'm not going to get any closure, and I don't expect it also now. No. How will I ever prove that it happened? On a era where there was a landline phone, not even a caller ID, how can I let them know what happened? There is no way. At least if it is today, I can say, I said a hi to him, he said a hi back to me. See, I know him, I have his number, he has my number. But not there. So where is my purpose? Nowhere. Even, that's why I said, even in 2018, I just wanted to substantiate that there is something in all the allegations, because I also went through it. That is why I wanted to speak out. That's why I didn't file any complaint, because I have nothing to show. But I wanted to tell people, yeah, there is something in this because I went through it. A lot of things are changing, right? A lot of things are changing. A lot of things are deteriorating. A lot of things are becoming healthier also, both ways. So I'm just hoping, so many voices when you talk, at least, 40% of people can start thinking on these lines, then maybe the change will happen. But for that, we should keep talking.